Have you ever felt the need to hold fast to hope? I bet we all have at one time or another. Sometimes it's during lighthearted moments when cheering from the sidelines of your favorite sports team, "Oh, I hope they win." Or from a pleading parent like myself, "Oh, please, I hope my toddler makes it to the potty next time." But often it's in times of deep significance. Like after a cancer diagnosis, I hope I have more time to enjoy this beautiful life. Or after losing a loved one, oh God, I hope I can carry on without them by my side. So many moments in life call for hope. We hold on to hope, sometimes with that playful anticipation, and sometimes with desperate longing. Some of these moments we all know all too well, while others we have yet to even imagine. Today we join together in a holy sacrament at the communion table. This is our opportunity to recommit ourselves to Christ's mission. The act of taking the bread and wine symbolizes our commitment to active hope. Not that passive or whimsical hope, but the hope that requires action. It's the hope that propels us to work together in community of Christ for God's preferred future. The scripture that guides us today is from Doctrine and Covenants, section 163, verse 4a. As I read it, I invite you to listen and consider how it calls us to action. God, the eternal Creator, weeps for the poor, displaced, mistreated, and diseased of the world because of their unnecessary suffering. Such conditions are not God's will. Open your ears to hear the pleading of mothers and fathers in all nations who desperately seek a future of hope for their children. Do not turn away from them, for in their welfare resides your welfare. This scripture invites us to open ourselves, our ears, our eyes, our hearts, our very souls to those who are suffering. It challenges us to desperately seek a future of hope alongside others seeking such futures, those holding fast to that hope. We must not turn away from them or from God's preferred future filled with promise and, again, hope. Jesus set an example of this future, acting with love, compassion, and justice for the oppressed, the marginalized, the poor, the other. For in their welfare resides our welfare. This theme and text resonates deeply with me, especially in my work at Outreach International, where I lead our global program operations team. The development work that we facilitate around the world is not driven by our agenda, but by the people living in poverty who are directly affected by issues themselves. At Outreach, we engage these communities in authentic participation. Those who face poverty are not defined by it. Instead, they are eager, filled with potential, and ready to forge their own path toward development. At the heart of our work is collective and active hope, a commitment to answering the question, what is best for the common good? This idea aligns with the ethical approach of the common good, which suggests that the well-being of each individual is inextricably tied to the well-being of the community as a whole. Does that sound familiar? It echoes, for in their welfare resides our welfare. In my role, I often travel to our program areas, witnessing this hope in action. Last year, I visited India for the first time since before COVID. and I had the opportunity to visit a community called Kila Padar for the very first time. As we walked through the village, the community leaders proudly showed us the achievements that they had accomplished together over the last couple of years. A new bus stop allowing residents to safely travel to nearby towns. New homes constructed with permanent materials like cement and wood instead of tarps and thatch. And a new drilled tube well providing an accessible source of drinking water for all the families in Kila Padar, year-round. As we continued our tour, one leader mentioned, almost in passing, that just a few months ago they had mobilized to the local government to bring electricity to their homes. 2 months ago, he said, we had electricity installed in every home. I paused, taking time to process that for just a moment, what I'd heard. I'm sorry, I said. Did you say that you have electricity now? Yes, he said. And you didn't have electricity in your homes before then? I was still trying to comprehend. He said, no. But what about the street lights? I asked, and I was pointing to the solar street light just a few meters away from us. Oh, those, he replied. We mobilized to the government 6 months ago and we got those installed. So before 6 months ago, there had never been light in this community after dark, I asked. Yes, he confirmed. I then asked, so how is your life different now that you have electricity? One leader said, I now have a refrigerator in my home. Another added, we can charge our cell phones at home now and we don't have to leave the community to do that anymore. Let that sink in for a moment. Think about what your life would be like without electricity, how challenging that would be, and how often we take it for granted. The more that we talked and we praised their accomplishments, I saw them stand a little taller, speak with a bit more confidence, and quite frankly, they all got really smiley. Their spirit, driven by hope, fueled by opportunity and the desire for a better future, is a testament to the power of hope. This is God's preferred future, a world where all are free from poverty, pain, and suffering. Hold fast to hope. Open your ears to listen, your eyes to see, and your hearts to love. Seek a future of hope. We must not turn away. Many of you have generously invested in this collective action, helping to build futures filled with hope for thousands through Outreach International. Thank you, and I hope that you continue to support this vital work. It's important to acknowledge how hard it can be to hold on to hope, especially in challenging times, much like we're facing now. We often face injustice, personally, locally, globally. It can be daunting and difficult to remain hopeful. But this is exactly when God calls us, and Jesus, the peaceful one, beckons us. We must hold fast to hope whenever and however we can. A few years ago, I encountered a powerful poem performed on video titled, Is Justice Worth It? By Micah Burns. I strongly encourage you look it up. A portion of the poem reads like this. People always ask, is it even worth it? And that question, though understandable, is quite frankly, it's ridiculous. And it rarely comes from those who are actually tired from pursuing justice. It rarely comes from people who've labored for years and have good reason to ask it. And you know why they never ask? Those people become friends with those who suffer, family even. Because it's one thing to wonder if someone else's freedom is worth fighting for, but when you begin to identify with that someone else, commune with them, That's when the question is no longer worth asking. Micah ends that poem with, "You never stop fighting for your own." Hearing these words was deeply moving to me. We must never stop fighting for our own. Our brothers and sisters, our friends, our neighbors, strangers, every child, elder, and person on this earth who suffers, they are our own. As we come to the communion table, remember that this is our time to recommit to Christ's mission, to uphold God's preferred future where we do not turn away from suffering, but instead we act in the knowledge that no matter what, our welfare is tied to the welfare of others.